The 1960s were a pivotal era for cinema, especially for the exploitation genre. These films fearlessly delved into subjects of graphic violence and taboo, sparking intense debate and leading to bans worldwide. Here are 20 works that pushed the boundaries of what was acceptable to show on screen, reordered to offer a fresh perspective on their impact. Career Bed faced censorship in the final year of the decade for its cynical portrayal of the casting couch culture in Hollywood. The film graphically depicted exploitation and coercion in the entertainment industry, hitting too close to home for many. Its matter-of-fact treatment of such abuse was met with fierce criticism. Career Bed was banned in Los Angeles and other entertainment industry centers due to its potential impact on the business. Its legacy as a document of exploitation, both on and off screen, makes it a complex cinematic artifact of its era. This Argentine adult-themed horror film, The Curious Dr. Hump, pushed boundaries with its combination of mad science and explicit content. The plot involves a mad scientist who uses a monster to kidnap couples for experiments to achieve immortality. Its graphic content, including group encounters and fetishistic scenes, was considered unprecedented for the era. The film faced particular controversy for its themes of forced intimacy and mind control through potions. Argentine authorities banned it domestically, while U.S. distributors faced obscenity charges. Its bizarre mixing of horror and sensuality created a new subgenre, but also drew fire from both conservative and feminist groups. Love Camp 7 inaugurated one of exploitation cinema's most controversial subgenres, Nazi exploitation. Set in a Nazi Bravo camp, the film outraged audiences worldwide with its graphic torture scenes. Its combination of Holocaust imagery with titillation was considered uniquely offensive. The film was banned in most countries, with some making its distribution a criminal offense. Its use of real historical atrocities for entertainment made it especially reprehensible. Jewish organizations led protests against screenings, while Germany made its possession illegal. The period film The Lustful Turk was banned for its graphic rape scenes and Orientalist racism, combining violence with cultural stereotypes. The plot, about European women captured for a Turkish harem, perpetuated centuries-old prejudices while exploiting contemporary anxieties. Its endless scenes of assault, presented as exotic adventure, outraged critics. The film was banned in Turkey and other Muslim countries for its offensive portrayal of Islamic culture. What made it particularly problematic was its pseudo-historical presentation, suggesting accuracy while perpetuating myths. This psychedelic horror film, Mantis and Lace, combined LSD panic with violence, hitting two major social anxieties. The plot, about a go-go dancer who murders men while on acid trips, led to widespread censorship. The graphic violence, combined with drug use, made it particularly controversial during the height of anti-drug sentiment. The film's strobe effects and psychedelic sequences were even blamed for causing seizures and psychological distress. Multiple countries banned it for promoting drug use and violence. The sci-fi film Space Thing faced censorship for its wall-to-wall nudity and non-stop content disguised as a futuristic adventure. The film's paper-thin plot served only to string together endless softcore scenes, pushing the boundaries of what was considered acceptable. Its portrayal of a future where clothing was optional and sexual encounters were casual alarmed conservative groups. The film was banned in multiple jurisdictions for obscenity, despite its comic tone. What made it particularly controversial was its targeting of drive-in audiences, including families. This British film, The Touchables, faced censorship for its themes of kidnapping, coercion, and youth rebellion that authorities feared would inspire copycat crimes. The plot, about girls who kidnap a pop star for their pleasure, was seen as promoting lawlessness. Its psychedelic style and anti-establishment message led to bans in conservative areas. The film's casual attitude toward crime and its exploitation of power dynamics troubled censors. What made it particularly controversial was its timing during actual high-profile kidnappings. She-Freak faced censorship not just for its violence, but for its exploitative portrayal of carnival performers and people with disabilities. The film tells the story of a waitress who marries into a carnival sideshow for money, only to face a grotesque revenge. Its graphic transformation scene and cruel depictions of freaks led to bans in multiple territories.
The film was particularly controversial for exploiting real carnival performers while simultaneously depicting them as monsters. British censors found the film's treatment of disability offensive and refused certification. This Southern exploitation film, Shanty Tramp, faced bans for its toxic combination of racial violence, assault, and religious hypocrisy. The plot, involving a white woman who falsely accuses a black man of rape to cover her own crimes, hit every sensitive nerve in 1960s America. Its graphic violence and racial themes led to riots at some screenings and immediate bans in numerous cities. The film's exploitation of racial tensions for profit drew condemnation from civil rights groups. What made it particularly controversial was its cynical use of real social issues for shock value.
Tell the following story in a fast, fun, warm style as if you were talking to a group of people listening to Top Movies to Watch podcast. This pseudo-documentary about a detective investigating a prostitution ring, Aroused, faced bans for its explicit content and voyeuristic approach. The film's gimmick of presenting itself as educational while clearly exploiting its subject drew particular criticism. Its graphic scenes of prostitution and violence led to obscenity prosecutions in multiple states. The film's portrayal of sex work as inherently degrading and violent perpetuated harmful stereotypes. What made it especially controversial was its use of supposedly real footage and interviews, blurring the line between documentary and exploitation.
The Defilers exemplified the roughy subgenre's worst tendencies with its graphic depictions of kidnapping, rape, and psychological torture. The plot about two men who imprisoned women for slavery was considered too extreme even for exploitation standards. Multiple jurisdictions banned it outright, while others demanded cuts that essentially gutted the film. The movie's complete lack of a moral framework or consequences for its villains particularly troubled censors. Many prints were confiscated and destroyed, making it one of the most actively suppressed films of its era.
This obscure exploitation film, Satan's Bed, gained notoriety for its graphic content and nihilistic portrayal of group acts and drug use. The movie's depiction of a woman's descent into degradation through involvement with a satanic cult led to immediate censorship issues. Its unflinching portrayal of orgies and ritual abuse pushed beyond typical exploitation boundaries. Several U.S. states banned it for obscenity, while international markets largely refused distribution. What made it particularly controversial was its suggestion that liberation inevitably led to degradation and evil.
The meta-exploitation film about the pornography industry, The Smut Peddler, faced immediate censorship for its explicit content and cynical worldview. The movie's behind-the-scenes look at exploitation filmmaking included actual pornographic footage, leading to obscenity charges. Its nihilistic portrayal of everyone involved in the industry as either a predator or prey drew criticism from multiple angles. The film was banned in numerous jurisdictions for its actual pornographic content rather than simulated scenes. Many prints were seized in police raids on adult theaters. This exploitation film, White Slaves of Chinatown, faced widespread bans for its racist portrayal of Asian characters and graphic depictions of forced prostitution. The movie's plot about white women kidnapped into slavery in San Francisco's Chinatown perpetuated harmful stereotypes while exploiting real trafficking concerns. Multiple Asian American organizations protested its release, leading to bans in cities with significant Asian populations. The film's combination of racial exploitation and violence made it particularly offensive.
Part of the notorious series Olga's House of Shame pushed exploitation to extremes with its sadistic torture scenes and themes of forced prostitution. The movie's graphic whipping and torture scenes led to immediate bans in multiple jurisdictions. New York authorities arrested theater owners for showing it, setting a precedent for obscenity prosecution. The film's nihilistic tone and complete objectification of women drew criticism from across the political spectrum. Many prints were destroyed by authorities, making it one of the most suppressed films of the era. Herschel Gordon Lewis's Blood Feast earned its place in history as the first splatter film, featuring unprecedented gore that shocked audiences worldwide. The film follows an Egyptian caterer who murders young women to recreate an ancient feast. Its graphic dismemberment scenes, including tongues being ripped out and limbs being hacked off, led to immediate bans in several countries. The UK refused classification until 2001, while various US states and cities banned it outright. What made authorities nervous was the film's complete disregard for implied violence. Everything was shown in vivid Technicolor detail.
James Landis's The Sadist presented a terrifyingly realistic portrayal of a psychopathic killer that was deemed too disturbing for general release. Loosely based on the Charles Starkweather murders, the film follows three teachers terrorized by a young sociopath and his girlfriend. Its psychological brutality and nihilistic worldview led to widespread bans, particularly in the American Midwest where the real crimes occurred. The film's unflinching depiction of random violence without any moral resolution deeply troubled censors. The protagonist's complete lack of motivation beyond sadistic pleasure was considered too dangerous an influence on impressionable viewers. Mario Bava's groundbreaking Giallo, The Girl Who Knew Too Much, was banned in several countries for its unprecedented combination of violence and lust, establishing a template the genre would follow for decades. The film's graphic murder sequences, particularly those involving women, drew immediate censorship. Its voyeuristic camera work led to cuts in most markets. Spanish censors banned it outright for its corrupting influence. What made the film particularly controversial was its stylized approach to violence, making murder seem almost beautiful, which was seen as more dangerous than straightforward gore.
This Italian shockumentary, Mondo Cane, pioneered the Mondo genre and faced immediate international controversy for its graphic depictions of real animal cruelty and human suffering. The director's unflinching camera captured everything from tribal rituals to animal slaughter, presenting it as anthropological documentation. The film was banned in numerous countries for its exploitative nature and genuine violence against animals. What made it particularly problematic was its blurring of documentary and exploitation, using real suffering for entertainment. The film's influence spawned countless imitators, but its legacy remains tainted by the genuine harm captured on camera. These 20 films represent the extreme edge of 1960s exploitation cinema, where filmmakers pushed every boundary of taste, decency, and legality. While many remain banned or heavily censored today, they serve as important historical documents of a time when cinema was testing its limits. Their influence, both positive and negative, can still be felt in contemporary horror, thrillers, and even mainstream films. Whether viewed as cautionary tales or creative rebellion, these movies forever changed what was possible to show on screen.